set up green screen is cool because you can kind of change the background out, but we need some consistency, I think, in backgrounds because these shows should be consistent. But we can look at those set pieces, and if nothing there is really working, or maybe that only works for one set, we could really just sit down and draw up something and actually go to Ken and have him build something. I feel like him, because we really don't want something distracting in the background, so if it's a rectangular thing, almost like the diffusers in B and C, they're basically like 4x8s, but maybe he puts some texture. I'm not really a wood guy, so I don't really think I want wood. Well, I do like wood.
You don't like wood?
No, I like wood. I like my own wood, you know, like I want to be clear about that. If I say I like wood, people will be like, oh, he likes wood. No, I like my own wood. Yeah, I think it might be because they punch the code in. I think you got to punch the code in for it to open. So I'm like, all right, if you want to open for me, that's cool.
Yeah.
The thing is, I've been here so few times, I actually don't even remember where. You know what? I'm such an idiot. I don't even know what number my.
I would know where it's at relatively.
I know what my lock is, but where are we gonna park?
This is where we park, right here, or here.
I'd have to go yeah, because there's not enough room there. I'm gonna end up getting hit.
I guess you can tell by the lock.
It's one of these. I think this is. Oh man, they all.
I feel like it's maybe one.
They all have the same locks.
One deeper.
Is it one deeper? Yeah, that's not mine. It's like this kind of thing.
Yes.
What does it say? SD. What does that one say?
I feel like it's this one. You have a larger one than that too, right? Yeah, I think it's this one.
Are there lights in this thing?
I don't know.
That's John. That's the rack. That's in. Yeah, that's the one that's in your room.
It's so much smaller.
Is it? Maybe that's not. Does that one have the padding in it? The padding around the outside?
It just says this right here, and then the racks.
I have a rack that's actually shock protected. It's got a layer of padding around the outside, and this is not that cover. This is for one that's only, it's just a straight up case. There's no padding on the inside.
Double check it with the one in my room.
Dude.
If that's the case, I'll just...
Look what I found.
Picks.
Circa 2010 tour. In the bin of destruction. Buried in the storage space of obscurity.
Another empty build.
Clayton from Celldweller, and I'm here with Sterling, aka Ghost Noise.
What's going on?
And we are doing some A&R today to kind of go through and sort through 34 demos Sterling has right now towards his debut album. So we're just kind of sifting tracks and listening to what he's got demo-wise, talking about which ones are the strongest ones and maybe what direction to head, so that way he can jump into the studio and just go into full-blown production.
I'm super stoked. That's about it.
That's about it. He's stoked. Ironically, Sterling is here in the Detroit area and was introduced to, we were introduced to each other through Joey Sturgis. So it's kind of a cool little team up, and we figured let's just kind of get together in the studio and sift some demos and start working on an album. Here we go.
Yeah, I changed that second drop.
Okay, so I want to jump into just a general thought before we even go through the rest of these.
Alright.
Just kind of like tying into, like, artist-wise, like we talked about, like developing you more on the artist side too, so that you're not just like a flavor of the minute, like, hey, I'm an electronic producer like everybody else. Here's a couple of my tracks. It's like you've already mentioned vocals, and I don't know, remember how much we even talked about it the first time, but how much are you envisioning like having vocals on these tracks, or wanting, like, do you have a specific desire one way or the other to have vocals or to not have vocals?
I mean, ideally, if I could like just do whatever I want, I'd have vocalists on every single track if I could.
Okay, so then I think we should try to make that happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's what I found is, like, just based on kind of what we've done, and even really, I mean, you look at like Beatport charts or anything like that, it's like the stuff that really tends to have more longevity and be around, unless you're one of like the big dogs, it's like a vocal hook is part of what prevents you from like kind of being the flavor of the second, where it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
cool, this track's awesome, it's gonna blow up for 2 weeks,
And then it's gone.
and then it's
off the
gone, and no one
planet
even
forever.
will ever even remember it existed.
Right.
When you have a vocal hook, I mean, there's vocal hooks I can sing right now, and I may not even remember the actual structure of the song or any other elements of the
Right.
song. But like a lyric, you know, and that also helps you not only just on the artist side, as far as like connecting to a fan base, but also licensing for like film and television and things like that.
Right.
Like a lot of times it's instrumental, but a vocal hook a lot of times will also dictate kind of an idea that might help connect that world. So we have access to vocalists. We'll find more, but I just didn't know kind of how you felt about, even if they're like 4-bar hooks and then you go into a whole drop, but just some kind of like.
Yeah, vocals. You know, I love vocals.
Okay, so especially because that's how you're more inclined to, like, you want vocals. And
Yeah, yeah.
I think, from my perspective and kind of what we've told some of our artists we work with, like, throwing vocals on a track I think will help you. It helps just bring more life to the track. It doesn't mean you have to smother the whole track like a rock song
Right,
or anything
right.
else, but you can kind of pick and choose. Like that one, I think it was 5 or whichever one it was that you said, yeah, this is like prime.
Yeah,
Say like the
yeah.
chorus or something, it's like prime for
Right, right.
You said you wanted a girl singer.
Yeah.
So we can let's find one to figure out how we can kind of make that happen. And I already see we've got trap tracks, we've got electro tracks, we've got rock tracks. So I think really over the course of a whole album,
Yeah.
diversity is going to be the key. Like the one we're just listening to here, which was, you know, demo 8, dub 8 is like it's got this kind of swingy kind of funky,
Yeah.
and that's different than a lot of the other stuff. So I think you've got a lot of good building blocks. I think we just need to kind of go in, hone in,
On each one, you know. Yeah.
or pick the best.
Yeah, and
10.
so I can start, you know, chugging away at the songs. Because once I know which ones I want to work on, you know, I sit there and I just sort of do the builds and I just keep going and going and going. Next thing you know, the whole track's done.
Sweet. Melody's cool. Like a Dr. P thing.
Yeah,
Kind of that world.
yeah, really squelchy.
Okay, so you got some
Yeah,
vocals,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's a cool sound.
Yeah, and started going into a melody thing.